Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing for a moment of silence.
Coming up on today's episode of HHS In Depth, you'll see part 2 of the Assistant Principal series reporter Andre Sentlever is making. This week, you'll meet Mr. Zvers to learn about his roles as a Homestead administrator.
You'll meet the newest guidance counselor to Homestead, Mrs. Edwards, and learn about how she's adjusting to our school.
Reporter Carly Flanagan brings you a story about next year's trip our foreign language department is taking to France and how you can join the other teachers and students on this trip.
Reporter Alex Peters brings you a story of our upcoming student-run production coming to Homestead.
Ashton and Caleb are in with another locker report, this week profiling our number 2 ranked boys tennis team.
And Drew Persinger will give us his weekly weather segment, The Drew Point.
We'll bring you all of those stories and more coming up on HHS In Depth for Friday, September 13th. Hello, Homestead. I'm Drew Persinger.
And I'm Chris Wang. Welcome to today's episode of HHS In Depth.
We begin today's show with the second installment of a 4-part series looking to our assistant principals here at Homestead.
Reporter Andre Sentlever recently caught up with Mr. Zvers to learn about his roles as an assistant principal.
Many students at Homestead notice the administrators walking around the school. You may have seen Mr. Zvers and wondered what he does. The assistant principal describes what he does for our school and how he is able to do this.
I kind of oversee some certain areas. Senior experience is one of the things I do. So I work with the teachers and the students in that program. I also am the coordinator for the career and tech ed. So oversee those kinds of courses. There's some meetings and qualifications, and I manage grants that we get from the state for our career and tech ed classes. I work with teachers, as all the assistant principals do, as far as observing and evaluating them, just trying to make sure that everyone's the best they could be as far as teachers. I also work with testing. Specifically administer the iLearn science test to the biology students, and then I administer the dual credit qualifying exams after school.
He claims it can be hard yet interesting to work in this profession with all of these students.
I think the best thing you can do to handle is just have a good attitude and be willing to work with people. I think that's something that we probably all share, is that with teachers and administrators, is you like working with people. You're being a problem solver, whether that's answering parents' questions or teachers or students. I think that's why every day is interesting to me, because it's always different. There's always something new that comes up that makes the job fun and interesting.
Principal Zvers talks to all the new students about what to introduce yourself into and the sociality of our students.
I think one of the best things I saw was just to get involved. I know Friday night we had probably the largest student section that I've ever seen since I've been here in my 5 or 6 years. There were about 600 students, so I basically just get involved. Even if you don't like football, come to the games, watch the band, but you get to be around a whole different group of students, outside of school. You get to meet a bunch of different people, and it's high energy, and students look like they're having a lot of fun. So I think you get to know people if you just get involved, in whether it's going to athletic events or watching the band or just get involved in one of our clubs. So this place is a great place to be because of the kids that we get to work with and the families.
Mr. Zvers would like to reinforce that Homestead is a great school and that the students should be joining clubs and being social with your learning. Catch me next week for an interview with Mrs. Bay and what her job regulates. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Andre Sentlever.
Juniors and seniors, the following colleges will be visiting Homestead. If you would like to attend a meeting, you must sign up in Student Services and get your pass at least 1 day prior to the visit. Monday, September 16th, Ohio University. Tuesday, September 17th, Valparaiso University and Brown University. Wednesday, September 18th, IUPUI. Thursday, September 19th, Franklin College, and Friday, September 20th, the University of Michigan and High Point University.
Juniors and seniors, if you are interested in a career in fields such as welding, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, refrigeration, maintenance and service, plumbing, and pipe fitting, these are jobs that are very high in demand right now. Mr. Rogers will be leading a field trip to the local plumbers and steam fitters facility on Friday, September 27th. This field trip will expose you to opportunities in fields not generally covered in school. A sign-up sheet will be emailed to all juniors and seniors. Space is limited to the first 40 students who sign up, so please don't delay. See Mr. Rogers in room 527 for more information.
Young Americans for Freedom is back this school year, starting on Tuesday, September 17th in room 718. Stop in after school if you like politics, current events, and a good conversation with your peers. All political viewpoints are welcome, and they typically have snacks.
Freshmen, student government election petitions are due today by 2:40 p.m. to Miss Connerly in the Academy office or to Miss Moss in room 723. Absolutely no late petitions will be accepted, so get them in as soon as possible.
Spring sports participants, spring patches have arrived. If you or your spring team earn recognition, please stop by the athletic office at door 4 as soon as possible to pick up your patches during school hours.
While there are always new teachers to Homestead, this year we've also gotten a new guidance counselor. Reporter Elena Hope brings you a story introducing us to Miss Edwards, the newest staff member to Student Services.
This year, Homestead has welcomed a new guidance counselor into the building. Mrs. Edwards has joined the hardworking staff in her strive to help students succeed throughout the school year and guide them towards their post-secondary goals.
Everyone here has been so friendly. I think I've probably worn the carpet bare going up and down the hallway talking to different colleagues within the guidance department. Homestead's a fantastic school. I'm really impressed with the student climate and culture here, as well as just all the opportunities for students. It's exciting to talk to them about those as their counselor.
Many people don't actually know what counselors do throughout the day. There are various different jobs and responsibilities that they have to accomplish in order to benefit the students.
Really, I think just, getting to know my caseload of students. I have grades 10 through 12, so I'm already starting to meet with seniors, and that's been lots of fun, and just kind of integrating myself in the school community through all kinds of options and activities. No day is the same in this job, which is why I love it. I can start my day in the office with an agenda. But it definitely doesn't mirror that because a student may have a need, a parent may have a need. Really, as much as I can, I want to have students in here talking with them. I don't want to just be stuck to my chair in my office on my computer all day, and it never looks like that. So every day is a little different, but student interaction is the typical common part of it.
Mrs. Edwards has some wise words for the students here at Homestead.
Start strong. It will help you finish strong. In talking with seniors this year, it's really important to, make a good, solid transcript for yourself down the road to open up post-secondary opportunities. Try to get involved in as much as you can so you're not just an academic student, but you're also a well-rounded Spartan. That's really important.
Whether it's in the office meeting with a student or in the classroom talking to advisories, guidance counselors always strive to support students throughout the school year. If you are interested in meeting with your guidance counselor, fill out a blue sheet in the Student Services office. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Elena Hope.
Do you enjoy reading books? Are you interested in discussing books with other classmates? Do you want to read more? Get out to the book club Wednesday, September 18th in Mr. Beer's room, room 117, after school until 3:30 p.m. They will be discussing their plans for this year, including voting on the first book they will be reading. Snacks will be provided.
Seniors, applications for the IU Wells Scholars Program are due on Monday, September 16th at 2:45 p.m. This competitive scholarship covers 4 years of tuition and fees at IU Bloomington. Go to the Homestead website, then Guidance, and then click Scholarship Listing for more information.
Get hooked on fishing. The Homestead Fishing Club will have its first meeting on Wednesday, September 18th in room 904 from 2:45 to 3:30. Email Mrs. Tudor or stop by room 904 if you have questions.
You've heard the announcements regarding Art Lab, and the first meeting is finally here. Ask or email any art teacher to be added to the Art Lab Canvas group to stay informed about upcoming activities. The first Art Lab will be on Thursday, September 19th after school from 2:45 to 3:45 p.m. They'll be hosting guest artist Jared Tobias. He will discuss his role in the Fort Wayne street art scene and lead students in a stenciling and spray.
The Dungeons & Dragons Club will meet today in the cafeteria annex until 4:30.
Physics Club will meet Monday in Mr. Len Feste's room, room 207 after school. Learn about projectile motion as you shoot Nerf guns.
Next year, our foreign language department is going to France, and you can still sign up to join them. Reporter Carly Flanagan brings you the story.
This summer, the French department is taking students overseas to France. Many students are excited to travel. Mr. Sayon and other chaperones look forward to sightseeing and helping French students advance in their understanding of the French language.
Next summer, from June 15 to June 23rd, we'll be in Paris, Nice, Monaco, Monte Carlo, and we'll visit the small city of Aix. It's a medieval city in the Côte d'Azur in France.
I'm very excited to practice my budding French skills. I don't speak French fluently, but I do know a little bit of French, and I'm very excited to learn more vocabulary and to get better as a French speaker. And I also have never visited France, so this for me will be my first time in Paris.
In order to raise funds for this upcoming trip, Mr. Sayon will sell a famous French recipe for all to enjoy every Friday.
Last year, before the end of the school year, we started the dollar crepe. We make crepes on Fridays, and it's $1 for a crepe with your choice of coffee or tea.
The attendees hope to increase their knowledge about France's culture and exploring another country.
I think one of the great things that they can learn is they would be exposed to the French culture, language, and just the ambiance of different parts of France. So you'll go from Paris and then all the way to Nice, which is in southern France, and the Côte d'Azur or the French Riviera. And so you get to see the diversity of French culture and at the same time some of the most famous things that people think about when they think about France.
I plan to learn about the French culture in a way that you probably couldn't unless you actually went there and experienced it yourself. I was encouraged to take this trip when I realized the opportunity that it would give me in expanding my knowledge and about France in general, and I don't really think there's a better way to do it than with my close friends and some of my favorite teachers.
If you're interested in going to France, there are 2 spots left, so be sure to listen to the announcements about upcoming meetings and information. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Carly Flanagan.
The FCCLA coffee bar located next to the cafeteria will be open starting Monday morning. It will be open before school from 7:20 to 7:40 a.m. and after school from 2:35 to 2:50 p.m. Stop by to get coffee, juice, Pop-Tarts, and other various snacks. All proceeds go towards funding FCCLA's state and national competitions.
It's your move. Chess Club will meet next week after school on Thursday, September 19th, room 608, Senora Hoon's room. Go for the snacks, stay for the fun.
And now reporter Alex Peters brings you a story over an upcoming student-run production at Homestead.
Many students at Homestead participate in performing arts, but not many students can say they produce their own play. Students Bethany Villaruz and Danny Bean are leading a completely student-run production of the popular play, Waiting for Godot.
We're putting on a student production of Waiting for Godot, which is a play by Samuel Beckett, and all of the proceeds from that play are going to the Fort Wayne Center for Nonviolence.
So it's a student-run production because students are doing all the work. Normally at a Homestead play, it's under the theater department, so Mr. Shaw is directing. We have a budget from the school where we have outside people usually come and do the sets or help with the sets, and there's a little more adult supervision. Now for this production, it's all students, so students are acting, directing, we're sourcing our props from what we already have in the Homestead theater department.
The idea originated after reading the play in class.
So in the AP Literature class, Dr. Price teaches Waiting for Godot, and we just thought it was a really interesting play. Danny said we should do that play, and I said, you know what, yeah, let's make it happen. Let's not just talk about it, we're going to do it, and we're going to do something with it. We're not just going to put on a play for ourselves, we're going to put on a play for other people and to help other people.
The play is very unique, and unlike other shows performed at Homestead in the past.
The basic plot is that it's really just these 2 guys waiting for somebody who never comes, or something or someone who never comes, and they encounter some people along the way. But in a broader sense, it's about why are we here? What are we doing? What is the human purpose? It's really weird, but it's fun, yeah.
As well as being student-run, the production will also be donating proceeds to charity.
We're doing it as a fundraiser for the Fort Wayne Center for Nonviolence, so all profits will go to them. Now, the Center for Nonviolence is an organization dedicated to helping eradicate violence in and around Fort Wayne. So they have programs, they have batterer intervention programs, programs for protection of victims of abuse, and youth programs to help stop violent behaviors early.
There will be 2 showings of the production.
The production is on September 19th and 20th. That is a Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. at the Homestead Auditorium. Tickets will be on sale the week of the production at all lunches as well as at the door, and it's $5 to enter. And if you'd like to make an extra donation for the Fort Wayne Center for Nonviolence, we would love that as well.
Make sure to head out to see the production next week for a night you won't forget. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Alex Peters.
If you ever wanted to go to Africa and take part in a safari ride through Kruger National Park, then listen to this message from Mrs. Vale about an important meeting taking place next Wednesday.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Vale, and I would like to invite you to come to an informational meeting next Wednesday, September 18th at 6:30 p.m. We're going to be talking about our upcoming trip 2021 to South Africa. In the summer of 2021, we're going to spend 3 days in Cape Town, 3 days in Johannesburg, and 3 days in Kruger National Park going on a safari. So if you are interested at all and you are a sophomore, junior, or freshman, please plan to come to the informational meeting. That is next Wednesday, September 18th at 6:30 p.m. in room 213. Thank you.
And now it's time for this week's installment of The Locker Report with Ashton Hackman and Caleb Wood.
This week, you'll get caught up with our number 2 ranked boys tennis team.
Hello, Homestead. I'm Ashton Hackman. It's time for another edition of The Locker Report. This week, we profile a team hoping to score big at state this year. With a younger and stronger team, we get caught up with the Homestead boys tennis team, your team of the week.
The Homestead boys tennis team is in full swing this season, dominating the competition and starting the year ranked second in the state.
Season's going really good. We're undefeated in dual matches, and in every dual match, we haven't lost a single match. So I think we're doing really good, 2 in the state. Got a little bit to improve on, but good start.
The season's been going really well this year. I feel like we have really good team chemistry. We really connect when we play matches. Like, we cheer each other on all the time.
After coming up short to the state title last year and killing it in the regular season so far this year, the team has their eyes set on one goal.
I think as a team, we really want to push ourselves and reach state, you know. Last year we had a good run. We almost got to state. We lost in the first round of state. But this year we just want to push ourselves to our very best and win state this year.
I ultimately think that we could win state. I mean, there's always Carmel, but I think we can beat them this year because we have a really strong team. We're 2 in the state instead of 3. So I really think we can be really competitive in state so that we can win.
Despite the hard work put in through practices and games, the team still shares many moments together both on and off the court.
Favorite memory? I'd have to say when Andy Meyer warms up every day. We're like halfway through practice and he's still on short court.
My favorite memory has got to be when Lucas Vaishon cheers on the team, gets them pumped up for the matches. He is the hypest man in Homestead tennis.
There's this kid named Thaddeus Dressel on this team. He downs like 5 sodas before matches. So it's pretty funny.
You can catch the boys tennis team in action tomorrow at home.
Now here's sports reporter Caleb Wood to get us caught up on Homestead sports action.
Hello Homestead, I'm sports reporter Caleb Wood, and here's a look at what happened this past week in Homestead athletics.
The Spartan football team dominated Bishop Luers last Friday, going 48-0 at the end of the first half and ultimately winning 51-0. Points are scored by Jake Archbold, Braden Hardwick, Griffin Little, and a pick 6 by Morgan Lehman. All 3 games this season have shown IHSAA's new mercy rule in action. If a team gets beat by 35 points or more, the game goes to a running clock in the second half. Off to the races now, the boys cross-country team competed in the state preview meet in Terre Haute this past Saturday. The varsity race was won by Homestead. Senior Jared Neff led the Homestead pack with a second-place finish in a time of 15:56. Keegan Stuckey placed 8th and Donnie McCardle rounded out the top 20. As for the girls, they competed at Marion on Saturday. The team placed 9th overall with senior Julia Dvorak leading the team with a 5th-place finish and sophomore Amelia Faber behind her in 9th place. Good luck to both teams as they head to the Bruin Invite tomorrow at Northrop. The girls' golf team took 2nd on Saturday at the Hall of Fame Classic. Senior Morgan DeBeja shot her first ever hole-in-one. On top of that, her younger sister Maddie shot 7 under, setting yet again another school record by 4 strokes. The volleyball team fell to Belmont 3-0 on Tuesday. Good luck to them as they head to Huntington North next Tuesday. Next, the boys' tennis team had another 5-0 win on Wednesday, this time against Warsaw High School. They compete here at home tomorrow morning. And finally, the boys' soccer team defeated DeKalb 2-0 on Wednesday. They play Noblesville tomorrow.
That was a look at this week in Spartan athletics. For the Locker Report, I'm Caleb Wood.
And now here's the student section video for tonight's football game at Bishop Dwenger.
Surf, whoa, surf, whoa, surf, whoa, surf, surf.
Hawaiian theme at Dwenger this Friday. We'll see you there.
We're gon' drop, no. You got some slimy ways and come out the blow up, it's no for a pound. I counted up, see what I made today. Beat it up, you gotta pay to play.
And now an important announcement regarding Homestead's dance marathon. We are having a Riley night at the next Friday home football game against Snyder. There will be a miracle minute where we try to get as much money we can in the stands. All proceeds go to the Children's Hospital, so be sure to bring money to donate to Riley's. Congratulations to senior Morgan DeBeja, who was chosen as this week's Athlete of the Week on our Twitter poll. Morgan shot her first and the program's first ever hole-in-one last Saturday. Congratulations, Morgan, and if you would like to nominate someone for Athlete of the Week, shoot us a message on Twitter or email us at hhsidsports@gmail.com. Be sure to follow the Locker Report on social media for sports clips, highlights, as well as our new poll, where you can vote for the Spartan Athlete of the Week. That's all for this edition of the Locker Report. For Caleb Wood, I'm Ashton Ackman. Good luck to all Spartan athletes in action tomorrow, and have a great weekend.
And now it's time to find out about this weekend's weather forecast as Drew heads over to the weather set to bring you the Drew Point.
Howdy, Homestead. Welcome to another edition of the Drew Point. Get your oh-darns ready because we're looking at the possibility of some thunderstorms tonight. Let's get to that forecast.
Tonight, we're looking at a slight chance of thunderstorms with a high temperature of 83 and a low of 58. On Saturday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 79 and low of 60. And then on Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy again with a high temperature of 83 and a low of 65.
There you have it, everybody. That's your weekend forecast. Make sure you follow the Drew Point on Instagram for updates on delays, cancellations, and severe weather. Until next week, I'm Drew Persinger. See ya, Homestead. Well, that wraps up today's edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Drew Persinger.
And I'm Chris Wang. Thank you for watching today.
Be sure to follow us on social media for behind-the-scenes clips and digital exclusives.
Today, we leave you with a song you can catch on Homestead's radio station, the Point 91 FM.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again next week.